Hi, Carol here, and welcome back to the final card. Here on the inside, I decided to put the vellum down, and I grabbed a leaf stamp and some Versamark, and to cover up the vellum that I had stamped there, with the tape runner, because I used the fuse and you can see it. But the wonderful thing about embossing over any type of adhesive is when you heat set your embossing, the adhesive disappears because you heat the vellum above the actual glue, and you will see that when I finish up this card. I had to do two 29-minute videos down to a 15-minute under 15-minute video, so it's taken quite some time here to edit over an hour down to 14 minutes and 3 seconds. So see how when you heat it, it raises up the vellum and the tape mark disappears. And just so that you know, and it's still just as sticky as if you could see that glue on there. And it's a wonderful technique to use because it hides most of that tape underneath the vellum. And then I used my Martha Stewart punch, as you saw in the other video, to make those twigs around the edges of the vellum. And here's the skeletal leaves that I grabbed my tiny attacher, and I just stapled them right on because I'm going to put a back layer, as you see right there. What I did is I took one of those little stamps I got on sale at Michael's, remember? I grabbed my Tim Holtz Distress embossing powders, and I'm doing the frayed burlap and the marmalade embossing powders over the back where it says made with love, so that I get a two-tone effect on the whole back of my card. And I did the sides with the twigs there. So I heat set it, and it just had a nice vintage feel to it. Put it on the back of my card, as you can see there, because when I do vintage cards, I have to cover all. It's like doing 4 cards because I'm doing the back, the front, and both the inside portions of the card. So now I'm going to the front part of the card. I opened it up because I want to do some techniques. This one, I embossed the leaves falling on the page, and I did it with white embossing powder, the same leaves as I did around the inside. This is on the back. I think it's the back portion of the card here. It's to match each side. It's the inside portion, excuse me. So I heat set this on the inside of the leaves falling to match right there, the inside left part of the card. And I heat set the stamp that says thanks for thinking of me on the inside. So now I want to do another technique over top of that embossing, where I am going to grab my little daubers, and I'm going to go over the whole part of that. Oh, I'm just going to quickly show you the tiny attacher where I put down the staples there. And now I'm grabbing my markers, the Tim Holtz Distress markers, and I'm going to color in all of those leaves that I embossed there with the white embossing powder. And it's the marigold and the frayed burlap, the same colors as I embossed. I'm going to color those leaves in right there. So I just put them on my mat and I start coloring them in. There we go, I found the right ones. And I started coloring them in with, there they go. I put a bit of spritz, a little bit of water on those, and I'm grabbing it with my brush and doing a two-tone leaf falling down. And then the cool thing that I'm going to do after this is I'm going to take my daubers and I'm going to run a piece of tape across the inside there, so I only do 2 sections. It looks pretty cool. And I wanted it to match, when you open the card, I wanted one side to match the technique on the other side of leaves. and the same colors, the frayed burlap and the marigold orange there. See how pretty it is? And I just kept going over it to darken it just to get some texture. And it came out quite pretty. So after it dried, which takes, in my craft room today, it took about 1.1 seconds and it was dry. As quick as I put it down, it was dried. I just wanted to get in there and get this card done for you. So here you have it. I'm showing you another technique that you could do on this page. So now I'm taking both colors again, the frayed burlap and the marigold, and I am going to grab my little daubers right there, and we are going to ink daub the back of those, actually it's the inside page to the left. So there's the frayed burlap I'm showing you there. I'm going to grab it right directly onto my dauber, and I always daub it off on my mat, on the Ranger mat, and then I go around, and I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I had to edit this down below 15 minutes. So I'll show you portions of it. It is the no line. It took forever because I don't like to see lines on my work. So I just took my time and I grabbed some Post-it. I'm going to put it on the side so I don't get any on the other side of the card. I'm going to continue daubing it, going off of the Post-it note onto the page. And I go all the way down, and I do that on the top and on the bottom of the page. Slow is the key. Just take your time and do very light motions here. And when you take it off, look at how nice that looks. It's just a different look. It's not, like I said, it is actually like doing 4 cards. Because when I do a vintage card, I have to do all 4 sides for some reason. I don't know why. So here I'm just doing the same thing, and when you tear that up, you get the exact same effect as on top, but yet when you emboss like that, you get the resist, which is nice. Now I took my favorite things, grabbed that dotted line, and it's for the front. I laid down some black cardstock. I used the same color, Stampin' Up! Turquoise, and I put that down there. I took my Versamark to put the line on, and I'm going to use those embossing powders once again, and every little dotted line on there I embossed separately. One was marigold, one was frayed burlap, one was marigold, and I just took my time and heat set each one so it had a really, see how I'm just doing the bottom. I had 2 coffee filters going, one for the one color and one for the other, and it worked out really well to do, you know, the different colors on each side of the card there. So now I'm just showing you that there's 2 sides of this roll of tape. You can get the 1 inch and the 1/2 inch. I think that's what it is. I use the 1/2 inch, the smaller the 2, and it fit perfect on here. So I just line it up so I don't waste any of it. There we go. And I'm just going to, it actually was just perfect. And I'm going to put that on the front of the card underneath, and doing the embossing like the same colors with the Tim Holtz embossing powders on the front. It was wonderful. It looked really pretty with the scenery when you get down there. Everything just seemed to match very well. I was very happy with this card, and there are so many techniques on the 4 sides of this card. I was counting them all out just to see through the whole video, all 4 parts, how many separate techniques there were. Here I'm going to use the golden clear embossing powder. It's clear paste, and it's just really pretty. And I used just black acrylic paint, put some down on the mat, Added some of that. Watch how juicy that is. It's clear. It's a clear paste. I said that 5 times, didn't I? Guess what? It's a clear paste. And then this is how I got the 3D look on my trees. You take some of this clear paste, you grab it with whatever tool you want to use, and you dab it on your trees or whatever you want to look 3D. And I do this through the whole, every tree on there and a little bit on the mountains. And I add some ultra thick embossing powder over top. So I'll just show you close up how that paint looks. And before it completely dries, I let it dry a little bit because I don't want it coming off. But before it completely dries, I grab the ultra thick embossing powder. And there I'm just showing you the inside and the back. That's the Made with Love complete card. And now, just that amount of time, it was great to add the embossing powder. So, and it is really thick granules there. See it when it comes out? And I put it over top of the golden clear embossing paste and paint. And then I'm going to take the back of my measuring spoon and I'm going to push it into the paint right there. See that? Just push it right in. And I'm telling you, it makes those trees just pop off the page. I did a little bit up in the mountains, and then I took my Versamark pen and I dabbed little dots all through the river so it looked like the sun was glistening off of the water there. It's the exact same effect, but there it is. See how it just grabbed those great big thick granules, grabbed the paint and the embossing paste, and when you heat set it, it's beautiful. I think I shut the light off for you just so you could see it. Now here I'm dabbing the Versamark pen. Just going to show you that there, and then I'm going to put the granules right over top of that till they stick. And everywhere that I wanted it to look like it was glistening and stand up from the page, I put the ultra thick embossing powder, which you get at Michael's. It's a wonderful consistency. See it there? Just beautiful. And then you heat set it, and there you have it. I'm trying to get it in there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It just looks like water. And the black, adding that black paint to the golden clear paste is just beautiful. It gives it a beautiful effect. So there you have it, my friends. I finished my card with the Stampscape and doing the no line distress background for you, and I like the way it came out. I like all the layers. Just a lot of techniques I wanted to try on the one card. I wanted to use those really pretty skeletal leaves. It's brown, and I stapled them on there. That's why I covered the back so you couldn't see the staples. And here I'm just putting on some clear Tombow Mono Multi Glue to hold the leaves down. And I want to thank you once again for joining me. Had a great time making this card.